Hello, we're here with Ms. Cole. Ms. Cole is a client of ours. We had a medical malpractice case for Ms. Cole that involved a local eye facility. Specifically, it was a retinal issue you were having, right?
Right.
And Ms. Cole went in for basically blurry vision. She was 20/60 in the affected eye. And she came out blind, unfortunately, after that particular doctor dealt with her. But I wanted you to talk a little bit about what it was like having to go through a medical malpractice case. You know, it was a long case. They're not easy, right? They put you through the ringer, don't they?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell us about how that experience was.
It wasn't a good experience. It was a long haul.
They try to wear you down.
Yes, they did.
And they tried to get you to take little bits of money here and there, right?
Yes.
And you weren't having that.
Right.
And we all stood for you and throughout the process. And here we are in 2023 after the case started in 2019.
Yes.
And we're finally ending the case for what we think is a fair value. It's confidential, but we can't talk about the value. But we both think it's a lot fairer than it ever was before, right? And
Yes.
for the value of the case, it was fair. So what was it like being a plaintiff in a malpractice case as far as going through the depositions and having to deal with the mediation and having to go through years and years of getting reports from us, right? Without it being over with.
Very stressful.
Yep. And they know that too.
Yes.
And they use that against you, right?
Yes.
And us. So it's important to stay strong, right?
Right.
You were vigilant the entire time. You knew what your case was worth. You were willing to withstand the kind of BS they put you through, right?
Yes.
And you were strong in that regard. A lot of people are not that strong. So I want to talk a little bit about the facts of her case so that you all understand how this kind of thing can happen. She had a vitrectomy, which is a procedure on your retina, and she had complications, which is not necessarily malpractice. The problem is, as you follow up with a doctor, you expect that doctor is going to tell you the truth, right?
Right.
Are things going to get better? If they're not going to get better, what do I need to do to make them better, right?
Yes.
Well, this particular doctor didn't do that follow-up, just gave her some drops and kept telling her it'd be fine. And then months and months and months and months went by, right? Several months went by.
Yes.
And he never told you that it was likely not going to get better.
Right.
And by the time you actually got out to a different doctor, it was too late to do anything.
Yes.
And the frustrating part is that all the doctors agreed afterwards, except the target doctor, that had she been referred out sooner, she could have salvaged her eye. But unfortunately, it was too late to do anything to that eye. And the doctor was, and this was his words, not mine, he was babying it along. And he decided that he was just going to let things sort of ride until he left town. And he didn't tell you he was leaving town either, did he?
Well, he told me.
As he was leaving town.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but he didn't tell you in advance that he was leaving town.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So he left town, and then the doctor that assumed her care at this practice was like, "Oh my gosh, what happened? I can't believe that we've basically allowed somebody to be in this bad of shape." And so, you know, not all doctors are like this, and I'm not bashing all doctors. I have doctors in my family, but every once in a while, you'll come across one that is not looking out for their patient's best interest, right? So it's important for you as a patient to make sure you're questioning pretty much everything they're telling you, because you almost have to be that kind of advocate in this setting, unfortunately. Well, how would you rate the whole experience as far as the firm is concerned?
100.
Oh, that's a 100 out of a 100, hopefully. All right, great. Well, we think you're a 100 out of a 100 client, so it makes our job a lot easier. I guess I've told you that before, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And by the way, your family is also, I got a chance to meet your entire family through this process, and I think they're really spectacular people too.
Yes.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if you have any questions about any ophthalmic malpractice cases or any malpractice cases or any personal injury cases for that matter, you can find us on the web at zarzaurlaw.com, or you can call us at 855-HIRE-JOE. Thank you.